Lil Baby has just been sentenced to 10-month imprisonment after shocking reports surfaced that Young Thug had him arrested in connection with what many are now calling an ongoing Rico entanglement. And while the details remain blurry and shrouded in courtroom whispers, one thing is for certain. This is about to change the rap game forever, shaking the balance of power in Atlanta and leaving fans wondering if this is betrayal, justice, or simply the next chapter in a never-ending saga of hip-hop rivalries turned criminal battlegrounds. The story is complicated, emotional, and already dripping in betrayal and speculation. But if we take the time to piece the fragments together, we can understand how we got to this shocking moment where Lil Baby, one of the most successful rappers of this generation, is now headed behind bars after Young Thug reportedly played a central role in putting him there. The courtroom scene was tense, filled with flashing cameras, murmurs from both sides of the aisle, and the haunting reality that Atlanta's rap royalty was now eating itself alive. The sentence, 10 months in prison, didn't come down with the weight of decades like we've seen in harsher Rico sentences, but it came heavy enough to send a message that even the most untouchable artists can no longer outrun the tightening grip of federal and state prosecutors. What stunned everyone wasn't just the sentencing itself, but the name on people's lips as the alleged trigger for this downfall. Young Thug. Fans and insiders alike are already painting this as a modern betrayal, a chess move in the bloody underworld of loyalty, survival, and revenge. For years, the streets whisper about tension between Lil Baby's camp and Thug's YSL empire, but never in the wildest imagination did anyone believe it would manifest like this, with Young Thug allegedly ensuring Lil Baby's name ended up in the paperwork. Please do not forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. To understand this, we have to rewind. Atlanta's rap scene has always been a tight-knit yet volatile ecosystem, with alliances and rivalries often playing out in both music and street politics. Lil Baby, who rose to dominance with his undeniable flow, work ethic, and ability to capture both the pain of the streets and the glamour of success, was seen as someone Thug once co-signed. Thug had always been a figurehead, a godfather-like presence who extended his hand to younger rappers, from Ghana to Baby, offering the co-sign that could change their careers forever. But the same hand that blesses can also betray. And in the unforgiving jungle of Rico cases, where prosecutors blur the line between music and crime, friendships can transform into liabilities, alliances into evidence, and loyalty into survival tactics. Reports suggest that this situation is tied to a larger Rico dragnet still looming over Atlanta's rap circles. If you followed Young Thug's own legal woes, you know the stakes are high, and everyone is trying to keep their heads above water. In cases like these, the authorities lean heavily on statements, connections, and even indirect associations, building webs that can ensnare anyone within reach. Some insiders claim that Thug's team may have pointed fingers or allowed enough evidence to circulate that prosecutors had no choice but to come for Baby. The whispers grow louder when you consider how tight things have been for Thug's camp, fighting for his own freedom, facing charges that could bury him for decades, and perhaps feeling cornered enough to sacrifice someone else. Was Lil Baby simply collateral damage, or was he specifically targeted? That's the million-dollar question, now gripping the culture. Lil Baby's sentencing doesn't just hurt his career. It's a gut punch to hip-hop itself. His rise wasn't just another rap come-up story. It was the epitome of the new Atlanta sound, a blend of trap grit and melodic reflection that had the streets nodding and the charts exploding. Songs like Drip Too Hard, My Turn, and countless features made him not just a superstar, but a global ambassador of Atlanta's dominance. The idea that someone of his stature could be cut down mid-flight sends a chilling message. Success doesn't shield you from the long arm of Rico, and no amount of fame can outshine the shadows of your past associations. Fans are already polarized. Some refuse to believe Thug could ever orchestrate something this treacherous, pointing out their past collaborations and apparent brotherhood. Others, however, note how Rico cases thrive on sacrifice and betrayal, reminding us that in the face of decades-long sentences, even the tightest bonds can fracture. Social media is ablaze, with some fans calling this the ultimate betrayal of Atlanta, while others suggest this is just karma catching up with Baby for his own alleged street ties. Whatever side you're on, the drama is undeniable, and the lines between brotherhood, betrayal, and survival have never looked blurrier. Behind the scenes, industry executives are scrambling. Baby had tours lined up, collaborations in the works, and endorsements that hinge on his clean image as much as his superstar status. A 10-month sentence might not destroy his career, but interrupts it at a peak moment, handing opportunities to rivals and shaking the confidence of labels and sponsors who prefer predictability over unpredictability. More importantly, this creates a vacuum. In hip-hop, momentum is everything, and a year off the stage and out of the spotlight can mean someone else rises in your place. Will Lil Durk, Future, or even up-and-coming Atlanta rappers take advantage of this pause? The streets and charts alike are waiting to see who steps up in Baby's absence. Then there's a deeper cultural implication. Atlanta, once celebrated as a capital of modern hip-hop, is now being torn apart from the inside out. First, YSL was hit with a Rico. Then the dominoes kept falling, and now even the brightest star of the new generation isn't safe. The city that once united to dominate the industry is now crumbling under federal pressure, street politics, and internal betrayal. It begs the question, has Atlanta's reign finally reached its breaking point? Or will this fire forge a new kind of strength, a rebirth once the smoke clears? In Baby's camp, emotions are running high. Reports suggest his family is devastated, his team blindsided, and his closest allies unsure how to move forward. 10 months may not sound like forever, but when you're at the height of fame, every day counts. Add to that the humiliation of being taken down in a way that feels orchestrated by someone you once called brother, and the emotional weight becomes unbearable. Baby himself reportedly sat in silence as the judge read his sentence, eyes fixed on the floor, shoulders heavy with the realization that no amount of success, money, or fame could shield him from this outcome. His silence spoke volumes. Betrayal cuts deeper than bars. For Young Thug, the situation is murkier. If the whispers are true, and he did have a hand in Baby's downfall, then he's playing a dangerous game, sacrificing allies to save himself. If the whispers are false, then he's being scapegoated once again by a culture quick to assume the worst in high-profile cases. Either way, the damage is done. The public perception of Thug is forever altered, with fans and critics alike questioning his loyalty, his morality, and even his legacy.